Mrs. Armstrong, Miss English, Miss Lott,
Here.
Miss Wise, Mr. Crichton, Miss Janice,
Here.
Miss Garland,
Present.
Miss Hopper, Miss Graves, Miss Rittenhouse,
Here.
Miss Wells, Miss Burns, Miss Fitzpatrick, Miss Smith,
Here.
Miss Langford,
Call. She's unable to come.
Miss Hanson,
Here.
Miss Stedman.
What's Mrs. Hunter's not on there anymore. This is old. This is the last of those old ones. In fact, I just found enough to make out for the day.
Cheated.
I got it.
We do have a quorum, certainly, and it's good to keep the table filled all the way around. Minutes have been circulated to you, are there any additions or corrections to the minutes that's circulated? Hearing none, the minutes will be approved as circulated. Your president doesn't have any communications at this time. We have a report of secretary. Report of executive secretary.
I didn't give you a written report. As you know, been out of the office for 2 weeks, and this morning we tried to do one full week's program trying to get ready for this meeting, and since we've had so many to decline offices and all, I thought the best thing to do to give you a program is to tell you how happy we are, give you a constructive thing that we received a check. In all, we deposited $1,337, I think. Anyhow, it was $1,121 of dues for 132 members. We got $56 for AJN subscriptions back. That's 50 cents per member. And then $140 for Holy Family from last year. They hadn't sent us our check on that, so we had to do a little writing to their last and receive that. So I thought you'd like to know how they've joined on the 132. We've done the usual things at the end of the year, getting ready for the auditors and getting ready to start out our new. Now, we did not have application forms, and they finally sent us 100 by air mail, and we had them printed to sent them to the 85 that had been promised before the convention. Today we got 2,000 cards, but we didn't get any of these little leaflets. We'll try to get you more. This is a little directive for this year and how to fill it out, but I don't think that's quite as important. We would ask that you stress to all of your members, since we don't have the little form that had the carbons, that in order for us to have credentials and schools of nursing and references, if you don't give us a certification card, we need this next of kin anyhow for vital statistics. But if they don't give us the certification card, then we need 2 references or some credentials for those who are joining or being reinstated. So what we did, we had these cards already, about 4,000, so we printed on the back and tried to utilize them. And we're going to try to have the little brochure with it. We were showing you a little leaflet made up to send to all the hospitals, and it seems that they think it will answer our purpose. To belong tells us to what we're doing, and belonging, our advantages, and then directives, and then on the back a little historical. From 8 and 8 we took theirs, and then we gave out to the district. Thought we'd make it simple and put in cream and beige, or make it as attractive as we can. Then let me tell you how your membership ran on here. I think that's interesting. We won't go into the divisions on that, but we did get 14 EACT, 27 general duty, 21 private duty, 35 nursing service, 6 occupational health, 1 office nurse. She'll have to be changed. We don't have that in the section. 24 public health nurses, 1 psychiatric, which we don't have, 2 head nurses, we do not have that division, and 1 unknown, but a total of 132. And out of that group, 101 of them paid full dues. 23 of them paid on the installment plan, and then we had some associates, and then we had 3 who did not pay any dues at all, but it did give us a total of 132, which I felt was most encouraging to start off with this morning. I believe that covers what we've done.
Thank you. I didn't intentionally overlook the report of the treasurer, maybe.
That's okay. Of course, the December report's not completed yet, but I have the November report. And the balance brought forth from October is $1,583.52. And the receipts for the month for membership dues, $10, AJN subscription, $6, miscellaneous, $10, which was a total of $26 only for receipts for the month. And the disbursement was rent $63.50, salary $515.72, telephone $69.99, mailing and postage $137.40, supplies and operational $21.69, AJN subscriptions $5, taxes $158.80, and miscellaneous $93.48, which was a total of $1,065.58. And clearing the bank at the end of the month was $558.94. And this agrees with the bank statement.
Any questions regarding the report? Report then will be filed for audit. Do we have any of the standing committees? We do have some here. Ethical, legal, and professional standards. Ms. Wells, do you have a report?
No, I don't
Oh,
have, I
that's
haven't
for the
contacted
committee
my
yet,
members yet.
Ms. Rittenhouse, something on legislation? Ms. Lord, on program.
We have secured Joe Leslie Myers to present a film on eye safety for the meeting on January 9th. And otherwise, I don't know how many of our committee have accepted, but we plan to have a meeting of the program committee sometime soon to plan the Friendship Dinner.
According to something Carolyn handed me, you in pretty good shape. You just lack one of having your program committee.
Well, I am.
As of noon today, the cards were still coming in. We got 2. Miss Diana Tomlin called, and then Sherry Tiller sent a card in. So that we don't have them. As soon as they are completed, we'll certainly
Well,
call
I
them.
want to talk to you and get you to call a meeting of the program committee. I'll call you in the morning. We'll set up a date. Yeah, maybe you'd like to tell the group there we've moved ahead with plans for the 14th. Ms. Wells, who's on the committee.
You know, we
has
talked
done
about, and
excellent
I talked with Ms. Lott, and I did go ahead and was able to make reservations for the Friendship Dinner, as you suggested, on February the 14th at Cox Hall. And I think we discussed the menu and thought maybe they could give us a real nice dinner for about $4. Didn't I tell you
Yeah,
that?
well, that was
It's been a
top
long
price
time
we
since
took
I've talked to you. So that is confirmed. And as far as parking, you all want to know about parking. I discussed it with the powers that be. This is on a Friday night, and as far as parking is concerned, that would be the very best night to find a place. Now, that doesn't guarantee anything, but it was a good selection as far as night is concerned.
And we've got the time beginning at 7 o'clock. I think we can say we're going to start at 6:30.
Well, fine. The sooner the better.
That's the 14th. 6:30. We haven't gotten a chance to haven't picked the menu yet, but, it will be delicious, I know.
No, it's going to be at the Emory
At Emory.
Food.
St. Valentine's Day. Have we had a confirmation on that real nice letter you wrote?
Yeah,
We should frame that.
she's coming, he's coming. I also have, received a biographical sketch. And he is planning, Dr. Langdale, to be with us on the 14th as our speaker.
How many can Cox Hall accommodate?
I think the sky will be the limit. You know, it is
Because it keeps opening
expandable.
up.
And, but I do need to let them know, I mean, a couple of days ahead of time, say,
Dr.
so they
Langdale,
can plan accordingly.
and you say that she says $4 the dinner? $4.
That
Oh.
includes gratuities and everything.
That includes everything.
Thank you.
Very reasonable.
Really exciting. The agenda next calls for a report of special committees. The ad hoc committee on the register, Ms. Overton, is not here, but I think I'd like to tell you of a development that has come about. And I'm telling you prematurely because I really don't know enough about it to be very informative. But I had an occasion to speak to Dr. Dowder, who is President-elect of Fulton County Medical Society, about the registry. And he said he was very interested in it. But, he says, I think that we ought to think about having one much more encompassing than just RNs, and I told him that I understood that one had started, I was trying to start with just RNs, and another one was trying to start with practical nurses, but that this committee was trying to work on one that would be both practical and RNs. And he says that, well, you know, I've been thinking that it's a darn shame if you try to get a doctor, you can't get a doctor. So why don't we work up a committee or registry that would encompass all these areas? So this sounded at least interesting to me, and he asked to come to our next meeting of the ad hoc committee, because we have a meeting set up for Thursday. And this is bad because it's our regular date for the 5th District meeting, but Thursday at 2 o'clock. And Dr. Dowder's going to come and talk to us about what his idea along this line is. And that's about all I know about it at this time, and I think it is real interesting that they medical group are being concerned now too that they are needed. There should be a registry that where doctors could be found if it's necessary. The meeting that we're going to have Thursday, we have invited some other individuals to be present, namely someone from the private duty group and several from the private duty group and someone from the Practical Nurses Association. And
Let me tell you what she said, if you don't mind me being informal, in calling her this morning and being sure that we got Ms. Moore. And when she first mentioned community, no, don't mention that to the practical nurses. She said, waving a red flag. I said, well, let me explain to you that this metropolitan area of Atlanta, if that sounds better to you, what we're thinking about is a community service. And there's a difference. she wants to be there, and she also wanted to bring the chairman of her registry committee, and was delighted. She felt that they should talk to the doctors, and was most enthusiastic about it. Ms. Warner has been president of the undergraduates, and I was unable to get her, but we sent one to her, and particularly underscored the president, so she could mail it on. We don't have just a few of those.
I think the word community has sort of pushed some people away. They interpret it to mean that they register under community council. So maybe we can, I hope we can at least get off the ground in some direction. Mrs. Garland, the Joint Commission on Area-Wide Planning, Ms. Garland and Ms. Lott.
You got your notes, Merle? I'm sorry we didn't know you wanted a report today, because we have been having some real interesting meetings. We haven't had one since the 2-day workshop that was developed out of the outgrowth of this committee at the Medical Academy. But it's real fascinating to see what the men are planning for men and women in the area. And they're really trying to coordinate all the planning agencies and get them conversant with the special work that each is doing. And I think they are doing a good job. And I think we ought to be delighted. Dr. Dowder has been to many of those meetings, that he's realizing that nurses need to work on professional boards. I thought this was excellent.
Of course, I'm quite a fan of Dr. Dowder's, having run into him on so many committees, and to see someone so community-minded and so interested in the whole health field. I get to look at him and wonder sometimes.
Well, Dowder and Bishop and Wells and Walker are all together, you know. They're all together, and when one goes out, the other one comes in, so they just keep it in the family. It's real interesting to see how they manipulate.
Is that Linton Bishop?
Yeah.
We are informal today, and I hope it's all right with everybody.
Yeah, I've understood it's a combine. See, some of the others are gonna have to break it up to get in as president. Haven't you heard this? They do just like we do. Perpetuate.
Well, thank you, and I think it'd be real interesting if, let's see, would we have time this Thursday as, for a little bit more of a report to the group? You think you would?
Oh, no, this meeting,
I think
really, it's so intangible, there's not a great deal to report. And if we're being informal, Gladys, you fill in too. You learn a whole lot more right after the meeting's over, when those boys gather outside the door, and Gladys, as Pa Excellent says, going out there and talking to Mr. Pinkston and some of the others, they tell you more, but so far as what goes on in the body of the meeting, see, you don't get a lot out of it. It's kind of dull. But when you get outside, see, and they're kind of telling you what's going on, that's where it's interesting. But I don't think we could report on that, do you think so? I doubt it.
Well, I leave it to you what report you give.
Wait till we have something real tangible to report. We will give you a blow by blow.
The Model Cities program apparently is going right ahead, and they think that if they haven't already been funded, they think they will be funded. I went to a meeting, in fact, that's where I ran into Dr. Dowder, 2 weeks ago, right before Christmas, and at which they made the first step toward incorporating so that they can manage their own funds in this particular model cities area. And it's been rather interesting to see the people who have come to these meetings and how they pretty well manage themselves better than you would think. But I think the only thing I can report on that is that they work to make applications and get the whatever you do for the state to incorporate so that they, as an incorporation or corporation rather, can be funded. We have a report of the sections. The ACT, Ms. Burns is not here.
They have a very good attendance. I think more than 50 went out to the disease center, you know, had sent out these very elaborate and beautiful programs for them and went all out in publicity, and they are going to have others there. So she was most enthused over the response.
Thank you, Carol. Administrators, Ms. Fitzpatrick?
We had a highly successful Christmas meeting. It was a regular meeting, but we had a dinner, 45 people attended, 45 of our section, and we had some real good entertainment, some door prizes. But it seems that we've had so many ill people, we haven't been able to get together to form our committees, and we are hoping that maybe this coming next week that we can.
General duty, Ms. Smith?
No report. The only thing I can say is that we need a lot of help, and especially with programs, and I certainly hope y'all can give us some ideas and help me.
Ms. Smith is new on Capitol Hill, isn't she?
Very new.
As I told you while we were waiting for the door to be open, Carolyn over here can answer all your questions for you.
I'll have a few.
And
Carolyn made a new resolution. I'm going to talk less this year, particularly for
Now, wait a minute.
I really said myself that last meeting. I promised myself I wouldn't, but we will help them.
Well, I'm being facetious, I know it.
Well, but talk less and worry less during the next year.
Ms. Lang is not here. Ms. Hanson, Public Health?
We had a Christmas tea on the second Thursday, and very good attendance. I think it was enjoyable, and we were glad that so many attended. We were glad to have Miss Garland back. She created a good bit of interest. A lot of people hadn't seen her since she got back on duty.
Private duty, Ms. Stedman is not here. We do have a bit of unfinished business, and that is completion of committee appointment. Carolyn gave me a short list, and she says we need 4 people on bylaws.
Including the chairman, yes. That's just a resume of that. I thought it'd make it easier. At noon, I went through it again to be sure we had not overlooked anybody or the new cards, and struck out the ones that hadn't responded, and those in red are the members of your state committee as it now stands, as of noon.
Mm-hmm.
Those that either have accepted, the ones that deleted were those who have not responded, or either by call or telephone.
You know, the chairman, must be a director. And,
I explained to Carolyn.
She did, she wrote her some nice cards on there.
It's just real hard being in school full time and trying to keep up with everything. I don't even know if I can keep up with this or not. It really is. And I don't feel like I could do the job that needs to be done. I just don't feel like I'll have the time. And that's the reason.
You won't have one meeting, one good meeting, just before bylaws time, and we've gone through the worst, having just completed the.
I know, Carolyn, but I don't know. I just don't feel like I could do the job I would want to do. If you can't get anybody else to do it, what other directors do we? Who else is here? There's what, 6 of us? I'll accept it if I have to. I'll put it that way but I don't know. My schedule's pretty tight. Of course, that's an old story, and you hear it every day, but it's the truth.
See, Miss Coulter didn't answer, Miss Edith Honeycutt was unable to take it, Judy Garland didn't answer, the alternates, Brenda Hutchison declined, Rebecca Curlin didn't answer. So that gives you a resume of what happened on that committee.
You know, I believe Ms. Coulter will, but she has been sick a good little bit. She was out yesterday, but she was there today. So let's don't give up on her.
she didn't return her.
No, did not return. No, I have them all here, the yeas and the nays, and I checked them again noon to be sure. Oh, Ms. Brenda Hutchison, her husband's being drafted, and they're moving to California in February. Edith said it was sorry, impossible for her to serve, and heard Mary's. We'll do Mary's work if she'll just take it, so we'll have a chairman there and be in the bylaws to be in good standing and rules.
I get in more trouble in this room. Okay, Carolyn, would you put that in writing?
I have witnesses on the tape and the other members.
Now you have a chairman and I don't have a committee.
You've got Gladys.
Ms.
You might have
Gladys,
Miss
you
Coulter.
accept?
I don't think I was supposed to accept that one, was I?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, I'll be on the committee, but I
Thank you.
can't chair.
See there?
Well,
The worst is
You
over.
better give us about 6 names
hope
on
it's
that.
all right.
Just contact
Excuse me.
suggest some names for Carolyn to ask if they will serve.
I'll see if I can urge Ms. Coulter a little bit.
I tried to urge Miss Honeycutt, and she definitely will be unable to accept it.
Was Marilyn Rosecrans was on it last year?
Well, she accepted chairmanship of the public relations, but declined it on membership, and said that was the only committee that she could serve on.
I'm just trying to think of somebody that was on the committee last year for continuity.
How about Miss Pope? Maybe she'd serve.
I don't
No, she's
think
gonna be
so.
busy, isn't she? With her new building program.
Yeah, that's
She's been sick too. Is Marion Hale busy?
She's on that committee too.
She left us.
Left grade?
She left grade the first of the year.
She did, I didn't know that.
Where's she going? She's in Georgia State.
She's down with Evangeline.
I didn't know that. Are you serious?
Honest engine.
I was
wondering about Aunt Mrs. Stroud. You don't know probably well enough, the new director at Crawford Long?
Yeah, she's it.
Yeah, would she serve maybe on this committee, or we've never given her anything to do since I've been on the board?
You ought to give her
Is
something
she a
to do.
member? I guess
What-
she
what
is.
is
Ann
she?
Stroud,
Ann
she's,
saying
she's
I think
probably
she
needs
is, her
something
name
to
is
do.
familiar.
Put her name down.
Put her name down.
Is she a director or assistant?
She's the
She's
director
the
now,
new
her
director.
function left.
Oh, she
To
did?
go to Georgia State
And
on
Chris-
the AD
I
program.
better make a notation on that.
Director.
Cause Katherine's still there.
Ann
Yeah,
Stroud.
she's still
She's the new director.
Crawford Long School of Nursing.
Can't keep up with all these changes.
She took her secretary with
How
her.
many people we need, Carolyn?
You have those, how many do we need on
Well,
that committee? This is the thing on the side tells us that.
At least 5 minutes.
I can't imagine.
She's a good worker, Ms. Stroud.
Oh,
She worked real hard when we had
And
the
then 3 more at least.
OBGYN,
About 4 more names.
fourth district meeting
You know anybody joining the group from that committee?
Frances Bussey's not doing anything, is she?
Not right now. All right.
And, there's so few of us.
Somebody in private duty.
This is Chapman. She works here,
Private duty?
part-time.
Oh, you mean general duty, yeah.
She's not real busy, she might have more time than a lot of the others.
What was hold that name? She was private duty now. You in private duty?
What's it now? Not really.
I guess private duty is entirely boycotted this.
I talked with Miss Stedman the other night, and she talked to me.
I haven't any,
progress.
isn't it something in the bylaws that you don't attend so many meetings, you
I'm
don't
gonna
know?
bring that up.
Oh, I was wondering.
What, you can't do anything about the section because she's elected, isn't that right, Ms.
Well, there's
She's
something I
coming
want to
later,
bring
she
up
said.
about that.
Well, what is, what's that girl's name that was at Everett lately? Isn't she on the board? Honeycutt? No. Graves, Jackie Graves. Is she on the board?
She's on the board, but she hasn't been there last
That's,
meeting.
she hasn't been
Do
this.
you know where she is? Cause I don't.
She's at Georgian. She's at Georgian Clinic.
Oh, she is?
With, Betty James. I hadn't seen Jackie.
Oh,
She's gone.
Merle, what about Luann Lewin? Isn't she back with you?
She'll be back February 1. I would think she could serve on one of these committees. Is she gonna take my job?
She can come
Roy and Libby.
Rowan, you know.
Oh, yes.
We'll have a spot for you. She's taking one of the supervisory jobs. Boy, it's real wonderful to have them coming back. I'm so used to having them going the other way.
What did Dinah do, Carolyn? Did she
She
accept?
accepted, she hadn't sent a card and wanted to know if I had found it, well, at that time, I couldn't remember because it'd been, before Christmas time and so many other things. And she said if I didn't have it, go ahead and put her down, and she's accepted another committee. She was on the bylaws committee when I first met her, but I think she accepted another one. We put
She
her-
accepted legislation. Is that enough?
No, I don't think so, because, you need to fill 4 places, and you've got just 4 names there, and if any of them decline.
Some of those girls out at DeKalb General that are embroiled in this present controversy are probably new members of GSNA, and I think it would be good for some of them to be on some of these committees and come into the association and taking some active part. What do you all think about this? And we could give them some support too, just by letting them be a member of this group.
Or
I
would
don't
you
know any of them.
give me permission that if we don't fill any of these committees, that we call out there and ask if someone would be interested?
Well, yes.
No, you want them elected, don't you?
Who's the
That you
chair?
elect to let them serve, and we can get them to serve?
But I know, I just have listened to
What'd
the
you
names.
say, Carol?
I'm talking.
According to the bylaws, which is what we were talking about down here, these people are supposed to be elected. And Carolyn had asked maybe if we didn't have enough names, would we give her permission to call out there and ask somebody to serve on this?
Well, we could still elect them, we just don't know their names. How about Margaret Ford? About the way we-
Well, that's what I thought, if we could call Miss Ford, and she
Well, now,
could.
Margaret isn't a
She
member
declined
of the
her
group, and
committee.
that poor girl's had a hard
She
time.
declined her committee
She did
on
a
here.
nomination?
She
Yes.
did?
Uh-huh.
Oh, good Lord.
Or didn't
Aw.
answer one, either one, I have it, let's see, I'll tell you.
Let me see you.
Well, she may not be doing that.
Madam, these are new ones?
Yes, these are new ones. You may have that one.
Oh,
Did she have that?
I forgot that first.
She
But
said
I think
membership.
they need our support. and
I
think
wonder
they
how
do
many of
want
them really have membership. Do you
30
know?
of them came in through payroll last year, the first
Did
time.
they?
Yes, 30 or either 33.
Yeah.
Yes.
Committed to it.
And Joy Bradley didn't answer on her committee, no. But anyhow, Margaret Ford did not consent to serve. It is no. Let's look her in the
Isn't that
notes.
terrible?
Who?
Margaret Ford on nominations refused.
Here it is, let's see. Bobby Coltrane said no. Margaret Ford, see here, no. Shirley Bradley, no. Rachel Sanders on program, no. Well, I got.
She's not on
Young.
one.
She said she got a contract.
Could you say then that you would elect to have one from that group serve on this committee, representing?
We can get her on that.
But you can get them to consent, then vote on them.
Sure.
Vote on them after they consent.
Maybe, would this be practical to have a short board meeting right after the Thursday meeting and, maybe Carolyn could round up a few names for us and then we could just take us a minute after the regular meeting? Would that be okay? Or could we have a call meeting that?
I think that if you find out someone that would serve, and we could as long as all the members know that there would be a short meeting to fill these,
Well,
to
you
elect
won't
these
have one
people.
before then, at 2 o'clock at the other place.
This
And
would be
one
after,
after.
then to let, that would make it official,
Well,
but
I,
just to say they'll
could
let
I
anybody
send
know
out a
they
notice
want
sometime?
to.
See, that would be our problem.
Oh,
Well, we don't, we've got,
Madam Chairman, is this GE of officers and duties of, on here, appoint committees on elections at May meeting, where are you getting this?
look under the board,
On Board of,
look under Article 11. Section 6D.
Could as many of them present meet and then send a referendum on that?
Board of Directors and duties of the
Section
of the
6,
board.
Section
Elect all
6D.
standing committees.
6, elect.
Yes. And
You
these
can't
were-
elect them unless they are appointed, can you?
What I said, that would be stretching the point to have a person but no name like that. Now, I don't, if someone called point of order, it would just be too bad, I'd have to, well, actually, this is.
Well, my reason for suggesting it is we don't know the names, and I think it's not so much that group, it's just new members to get them active.
Well, I can suggest the one name from out there is Carolyn Keat.
If she has membership, she's with the Black Rackets.
K-E-A-T?
K-E-E-T.
2 E's. I don't recall that,
Who
but
saw
it may be.
did anybody see the on the news, the girl that made the statement that GSNA had adopted the policy of no strike policy.
Her name is either Carol.
That girl really did present that in a nice manner that night. No, she was just one that was out walking, and Joe Abrams stopped her. And he says, "Are you going to strike?" And she says, "No, we will not strike because GSNA has adopted a no-strike policy." And she presented it in a very nice manner. Now, I don't know her name, but I thought if any of you saw it, knew her. But
Well, I just think we ought to give some support, we ought to do more than that, get some new.
Well, the chairman of the unit was named Purdy one morning.
Purdy
Yes,
Mills.
I read that down in South
Is it
Georgia,
Mills
because
or
on the Jacksonville
Mills?
paper, you wanna put her on it?
well, my personal opinion is she's got her hands full. She's got a tiger by the tail right now. That's just my opinion. I think she really conducts herself well. That may have been the girl that was interviewed, I don't know.
I thought that's what it was, that's the reason I made that comment.
Another thing.
None of you saw that on the 11 o'clock news one night?
We all in bed. What are you doing up there?
Did she have sort of frosted hair?
She was,
Real cute girl.
she's very nice looking
Vice
girl.
chairman.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know what her last name is. Her first name is Carol or Carolyn. But I don't know her last name. I don't know.
We'll go back and get the newspaper and look at the
Waters or
Waters,
something
I
like that.
think.
It's her
Waters,
last
I
name.
think.
I thought all I
Waters.
got from
Waters
that.
and Fetterman are the
That's
two
not the
names that
chairman.
have
No,
been
it's
the
the vice
first.
chairman. The Fetterman.
Well, I have her name, I have a picture of her. This came out in South Georgia.
Both of them were quoted in the paper, Fetterman and this.
And
other girl,
Waters. It was Waters, I feel sure.
Go call him, that's right.
Madam Chairman, I wonder if we couldn't, make a motion to, ask for a list, and, for the next meeting, or whenever it is, if you have so many, to be elected for vacancies.
Well, the next meeting is March, and by that time you won't have but one more for the year, and then elect new officers in September. We don't
Well,
have
I mean,
round
if we
meeting.
could have a short meeting to fill these vacancies.
We need them now to set up your groups to get working.
Well, now, do we have enough names there considering this?
3, 4, 5, 6.
Committee. Oh.
For that committee I'm talking about. Bylaws.
If you have a lot of vacancies on there that are previous elected members,
We've got 4
would
names
seem,
and 3 people.
Yes, because Ms. Gammy can send 1, 2, well, I've got actually 5. If you need 4 members, that'd be just 1 to decline. Better give me 1 more to be safe. Because that's the same thing we've been on before.
and
No, I
then
ain't
these
opposed
may
to
not,
it, but
may
we want to
decline
take
too.
it down.
You'd have the same thing if you don't
She's
get their permission.
Yeah.
All right.
Is Mrs. Corwin a fifth district GSNA member?
How you spell it?
Phoebe Corwin, C-O-R-W-I-N.
I don't recall it. It may be, she may be, because
I had my list right in my file, but I didn't bring it. I didn't know whether to, do this.
the name is not familiar to me, but, she may be. Oh,
Following have been suggested: Ann Stroud, Francis Bussey, Roanne Levin, Carolyn Keith, Margaret Hasty, to complete the Committee on Bylaws. What is your wish regarding the names that I just read? I didn't hear you.
I make a motion that we appoint those to serve.
It's moved and seconded that we elect from the list I just read.
One who accepts.
Wait a minute. It's been moved and seconded that we elect these names to the Committee on Bylaws in discussion. All those in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. They are elected, we hope that.
Elected if they'll serve, huh?
Yes. How many do you
going
need
backwards.
from that?
Well, we needed five. Ethical, legal,
And
and professional standards. We need one more.
Joy Bradley did not answer. We might call her again, but in the event she doesn't do it, at least if we have two names on there, that would.
Have we asked Ms. Whitty?
Get their new
Oh,
position
I think they
before
said with her new job, that she asked not to
She's
serve.
really at all. She would do.
I believe we asked her in person, we talked, somebody talked to her and she said she'd have all she could take with the new one.
I don't wanna speak for her, but I know that's true.
Have we asked B. Montgomery to be on anything?
Yes, I believe we did, and I believe she didn't answer. No, it's Margaret Whitcomb. But B. Montgomery has on 2 or 3 other occasions declined. Maybe if you talk to him as well.
Could ask her again.
And follow up on Joy Bradley. And if she doesn't, ask if any of her faculty are willing. She still have to have a name though.
Who's Nancy Parker?
Put her name.
Where is she?
With Joy Bradley.
Do we put her on anything?
I don't believe so.
No,
I thought we put her name.
I don't think you did.
Yeah, I'll be on something.
Well, that's 4 names for one. B. Montgomery, Joy Bradley, Nancy Parker, and Mary Cates have been suggested for the ethical, legal, and professional standards.
I move that they be appointed to the Ethical, Legal, Professional Standards Committee.
Been moved and seconded that these people be elected to the ethical, legal, and professional standards. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Okay. We need one more person in membership.
I'm looking for that real fast, because I think I struck out one that accepted. That's Gail Smith. She also was nice enough to give us a suggestion for Sherry Tiller, who did accept. So if I've got it marked out on there, please put her back on there. She's second under Miss Pauline English, Linda Smith. That's you, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, bless your
So
heart.
we don't need another one.
We don't need her, so that takes care of that one.
Okay, well, we need one in legislation.
I had your card out there to check the other one on that in counting it. That's how.
She did accept.
If she did, it came in today.
I like that. I know.
We have a suggestion.
How about Miss Mays? Miss Lucy Mays? We shouldn't let her get idle too long.
Yeah, put it on there.
Well, let's see, Barbara Harris, Ruth Smith, no answer. Diane Tomlin, I had no answer, but she accepted. And S.M.A. Nugent accepted. So Miss Rittenhouse, Lois Norby.
Did she
Now, wait,
accept?
let's see, I put down here accepted, but I think I've got a
got
rejection
struck
card
out
on,
on
I've got a
there.
rejection card on her.
You have it struck out on there.
Yes, I think I have now, well, let me get that.
Did any of the private D people accept?
Stacks, Miss Stacks. See, she did on nominations. Let's see, now, what are we on right this minute? Legislation?
Lois
It is, now, here's the ones that said yes. Dorothy Barfield and Esther Nugent. Those two, now let me see in the nose here and see. I feel sure that Miss, I have them all here, is Lois Norby, no.
If you need anybody from our staff, Phyllis Sixman or little new one, Betty Shields would do good.
Betty Shields.
She did real good. I think she's. Did you put Miss Mason's name down?
You need any more for that, Carol?
Well, let's see, how many do we need on that? I'm working from the minutes and she's working from the other.
One.
Maybe we better have one more on that.
I suggest Jeannie Lehman. That's J-E-A-N-N-E for Jeannie, and then Lehman, L-E-H-M-A-N. I didn't see the E-A-C-T on here.
That was the one.
For legislation, Lucy May, Betty Shields, Jeannie Lehman. What's your wish?
I move we elect the
Rest my
names
weary
you
bones.
just read for the legislation committee.
Been moved and seconded that we elect Betty Shields and Shanae Jeannie Lehman to the Committee on Legislation. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Emergency preparedness 2, including, the chairman.
I talked to Alice Budd about it and she never did. She's the one that suggested Evelyn Rowe, and Miss Rowe did accept her came in just before Christmas. But none of the others did.
She didn't suggest, she has a Mrs. White now that's assisting her. Let's ask her. I don't know her first name right off, but ask for Alice Budd's assistant. Her name's Miss White. Did Miss Dodger reject?
Let's see what she did. Let's see now. No answer. Connie Seymour, no answer. And then the alternate card was being sent at that time and was received.
Yes,
Yes.
call for Miss Dodger. No answer. Well, she always goes on that.
Yeah, I think Connie might accept that, because it seemed like she mentioned that she remembers receiving the card and she lost it or something, and she didn't remember if she had already mailed it in, so
Call
she
her
may.
in.
I believe she will.
All right. Emergency.
Connie, the father, you suggested somebody Sarah Chapman.
And
She
which
did.
one did y'all want to select as the chairman of that
There's a
committee?
few that are active.
Evelyn Rowe, will she be chairman?
She accepted it as a member there, you know, as an alternate on there. Let me see that one. Evelyn Rowe. See, we didn't ask her to be chairman. Just emergency, you know, preparedness. Asked the people. I've got some good material for them, whenever we get a chairman.
think we need this in two parts then. Would you like to, make a motion as to whom you would elect to be chairman of this emergency preparedness committee?
I move that we ask Evelyn Rowe to be chairman.
Seconded that we ask Evelyn Rose to be chairman of this committee. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
If she doesn't, would that give us permission to ask any of the others as alternates?
Would you trust Carolyn
Yes,
to
I
ask
trust
what the
Carolyn.
others, if Ms. Rose would not? Is there?
I so moved, sir.
Ms. Stodge or Ms. Seymour?
If, Evelyn Rowe can't, then, could I just, say ask Mary Stodgehill to be chairman, if Ms. Rowe declines?
Did we skip nominations and Ms. Armstrong? Did I skip it on your little card?
No, but because we needed four, I skipped it for a little while.
Well, excuse me, I thought maybe I'd overlooked it in the room.
Let's elect the rest of these on that list. We have Mary Stodge as chairman. Mrs. White.
That's
Somebody
Ms. Bud's
said-
assistant at the.
Oh,
At the
Rosie.
Rosie,
White.
Rosie, thank you, I didn't know
Yeah.
her first name, she's Miss Bud's assistant. She's cute.
Kearney Seymour. William Rowe. So we have Mary Stodge, Rosie White, and Kearney Seymour. All those in favor of electing these people, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. We need one more on program. I thought we had program pretty well set up.
Well, let's see, Miss Mallory didn't answer, Shirley Bradley said no, Margaret Shayla said she had a busy schedule, and Esther Pierce, no answer, Anna Laura Crawford, no answer, Rachel Sanders, no, and Kate Hopper did accept.
Wasn't Cynthia Mallory at this meeting?
Cynthia Mallory, I think he's just gotten back somewhere. I saw her today for the first
She was
time in a long time.
Because Miss Burns was supposed to be here when we did this, last meeting.
I would suggest we follow up on both Cynthia Mallory and Annie Laurie Crawford.
And Laura Crawford's out of town an awful lot. It's hard to get her to do local.
Get it, be able to decide it.
Well, she does get out a lot. She's in our class at Sunday school. Hardly ever get her to.
Would you like to suggest another name or two, for program?
Could put, Hortense Jenkins on our staff on, she's real good on doing programs.
Well, Inez Stanley.
What's the other, Negro nurse's name at Grady that she's?
No, we have Ramona Andrews and
Yeah.
Annie Welch. Ramona
Williams.
Andrews is
Ramona.
She's quite a
And
little
then there's
while now.
another one that's usually with Inez.
And it
Can't
Williams?
think of her.
Well,
No?
that's Miss Welch, and then there's Mrs.
No.
Trice
No.
comes.
I can't think, but that's not it.
The Laura Miller
Although
used to be the
Ramona
one on the
would be
membership
good.
when it was active.
She's with veterans.
Cynthia, Mallory, and Laura Crawford, Cortez Stinson, and Andrew have been suggested.
Well, they were just naming, she was trying to remember
What
who
is
the other
this
person.
committee name?
Yeah, but Ramona would be good for that.
We did put
Sure.
Ramona down.
Yeah. All those in favor of, surveying these 4 people, and if they will accept electing them to the Committee on Program, please say aye.
Aye. Now you have it. If they'll do it, we'll let them.
These two had been
Opposed, no, I forgot, this is a follow-up. Public Relations 1, we need.
We never got that name of the person who said she'd serve on it. We had no one by the name Foster or Porter or whatever. It looked that way. We looked through the files just as thoroughly as we could. Never did make it out.
What's that Negro?
We had a Brawley, a Dorothy Brawley that came in, but you couldn't. No, I looked at everything I could possibly think of. Looked at the checks, the way they signed the checks and everything. But of course now they go to A&E. And I thought it could have been the Dorothy Tash.
What are we on now?
It's just fund a clothes for these young girls.
Joy
to
Bradley
work.
did not answer. Y'all want me to call her again?
Did I accept public relations?
No, but you ought to. Oh, you're so good. I mean, after all, you know all these people.
One's enough.
You did it, public relations, so.
I didn't remember ever getting a card for that.
It was on
You
the
put
other
no
one.
on it.
I believe it was on the other one.
Is Miss Saxon with V&A a member, do you know?
I think so.
I'd like to suggest.
What is her first name?
What is
She's
it?
a member. She is a
Allie
member.
Saxon.
That's who I was trying to think of. He read my mind, and DNA.
But she is a member. Been a member.
She'd be good in public
Yeah.
relations.
I think we'll get
What
somebody
happened
in.
to Verdell Bellamy?
I haven't seen her in a long time,
She was over great.
but she hadn't been at Harriet for some time.
I think she went to Ratlins, then she had a master's in maternity and infant. I tried to get her for instructor, I think she went to Ratlins. Of all
Yes,
places
that's
to
where
go.
she is.
Mhm.
That's where she is.
Ratlins with a master's in maternity
Yeah,
and nursing.
yeah. Imagine that.
Fonda.
Clove. CLOE.
I think we have her down on one of these other
Oh, do you?
checks, but I'm not
remember that name.
up at, you don't? Well, maybe I was checking her for something else. She is a new one. Maybe that was it on the new list. Anyhow, we'll put it down.
She's a transfer here. Okay. Public Relations, George Bradley, Alice Saxon, Fonda Clove. And we need one. All those in favor of electing these 3 people, or surveying these 3 people to see if they will serve on the Committee on Public Relations, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
Gene Alton said no on that committee. We didn't hear from Ms. Burns, so maybe we still have her down here as elected. Maybe we can call on her.
We need 4 people on nomination, and I cannot see.
And you need those according to sections too on that as much as we can,
Yeah,
don't we?
well, what's the name of Jenny Lehman's friend over at Ratlins? Thompson?
Bobby Coltrane said no, Margaret Ford said no, Miss Sachs, Elsa Stacks accepted, Evangeline Lane did, Virgil McKenzie did, Judy Payne didn't answer, and little Kathy Woodman said no, Betty Blake, we sent her a card, but we haven't heard from her.
I'll ask her tomorrow.
Is Charlotte Sachs in this district now?
Oh, yes, but she has been on that committee for, she's chairman of it for two terms, this is second, and she's on the program committee.
Wonder if Ms. Booker would serve on that committee.
I think Gail Smith would serve on that committee.
put Gail's name down, Calvin. She
Well, you
said
do
she'd
need
say-
somebody from general duty,
I've
I'm
got
in your
some-
sections.
I can give you some suggestions.
That one only meets once a year.
Miss Yearwood.
Gail, pick that one if it meets once a year.
Once a year, just to get your ticket. That wouldn't be bad at all, and then you'd have a say so about your office.
Because if I'm gonna be bogged down, you are too.
Not as easy as
I
that,
think it's
Carol.
called railroad.
Go on the nomination.
Who was that after Betty Blake? Margaret, I didn't get her
Wicker.
down. Wicker.
No, that.
What do we need in the way of sections?
Well, then, let you read your names, let's see the ones we have on nominations, and maybe I can help you. Ms. Mann is NSA, Margaret Ford is NSA, Stack was private duty, Lane was educational, occupational was Virgie McKenzie, so you really needed particularly your general duty on that,
You got
and,
the public health on there.
I guess that was Bobby Coltrane. Wasn't she
Yeah,
a new
she's
one?
probably
Uh-huh,
in
new one that went into, one of the new
Replace
graduates.
her with Carol Reddish.
She worked at Grady for
Carol
the staff
Reddish.
R-E-D-D-I-S.
Do we have anybody from BLM?
What's Howell's?
What's Evelyn Murphy doing?
We had those,
Oh, is she?
6 sections, we tried to get one from each section on that. And the public health would, you're talking about this, public health would cover that.
Yeah, but I
What
was
is-
thinking
what
of
is-
some more names.
Oh,
Howell Chastain.
Chastain Howell, is she a member?
DNA, yes, she's a member of public health.
I suggest Chastain Howell.
seems to me that she was on one and declined on Healing, he looks at these things again.
We had her on membership.
I think she said no to it too. Didn't I strike her out? Let's see. Chastain Howell said no to membership.
Got enough now?
Well, you have Betty Blake, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We needed 4, so that, I think it's some more.
I know we need 7 on that.
What about Helen Gibson? She doesn't know. Is she a member?
Yes,
Write her name down.
all right.
Yeah.
Then,
And I'll tell her.
do you know what
No,
section she's
she'll,
in?
she's in NSA.
Good.
She'll probably, what are we writing her down?
That helps me to find her retrograde
She
on that.
better,
No, she doesn't accept, she's in
Nomination.
nominations.
meets once a year, you're safe.
You tell her, Gail.
The following have been suggested: Betty Blake, Margaret Wicker, Carol Reddish, Chastain Howell, Gail Smith, Helen Ventress. To the, Board of Committee on Nominations.
I move that those
Yes, she
your
declined
name
on
be
another one up
requested
here on
to serve on the
membership.
committee of nominations.
See, right there.
Been moved and seconded that these people, just name, serve on the committee on nominations. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Well, at last, either you checked me, and, how long does that get on?
So far as I know,
All I had
all-
down here.
I said we needed 4 on bylaws, 1 on legal. We got that one, we're okay on finance and legislation, and we had your membership with Ms. Smith. Nominations, we needed 4, 2 on emergency with our chairman, 1 on programs and 1 on public relations. And if you don't mind, I'll take the little red list back, please, ma'am, 'cause that's the last go-around. That's the 5th time that thing's been revised.
Thank you so much for all this. I know it gets kind of tedious at times, but it should be done as early as possible in the year. Is there any new business to come up?
We did not hear from the letter. I was going over our last business on him. They were all notified. We did not hear from Mr. Henderson on the bonding. You know, we wrote him a letter about that. And everything else was followed through. Is in the process of being.
This isn't exactly new business, but I wondered how you would feel about some communication to some of our members of the board who have not been attending the meetings. Now, some of them are on the board because they're chairman of sections. And of course, we can't remove them from the board for non-attendance as long as they're still chairman of the section. But, do you how many that
How
are not
many
attending?
members who are not attending?
Well, we know private duty hasn't been represented for several times. And I believe there are 1 or 2 others.
Well, it wouldn't be
Have
too
not.
many to call.
EACP section.
Seems like that would be.
What about Jackie? What is
Jackie
her?
Green.
She's a director, isn't she?
She was in education. I don't know
She ought to get
whether
a
she's
reminder
changed.
if she's
I
a
haven't seen her.
director.
And Kay Hopper, I don't know where she is either.
She was here last time.
Was she?
She was. Wasn't she? Seems like it hadn't been too long ago, she made a quorum for
She
it.
had to relieve from a patient, go
Oh,
upstairs
that's
so we
been
could make
almost
it.
a year ago.
Oh, Mary Hayes, it's
Yeah.
happened again since then.
Since I've been here.
Ain't she?
I remember that day.
Okay, Mary Ross is secretary, how long
Last
have you
time
been?
Jill was
I think those people that are directors ought to get a reminder, and it is something in the bylaws, isn't it, after so many meetings they said. But they ought to get a reminder before we do that. Would you kind of be nice? Maybe they could get a letter, but the other people that are chairman, I would suggest, I would go as long as Miss Wells and have the president call, and in a nice way, tell them we, missed them and.
They can't be there to send their vice president to
Mhm.
have the group represented.
And, that's what I would suggest.
Is Frances Bessie still the,
She's
chair?
just gone out of office and
Yeah, you're the chairman. Very good.
Would you want to discuss it any further?
I would try the telephone call. I know you have many things to do.
I write better than I talk.
I think the idea of the feedback's good, though.
May I just say one thing here, where, on procedure-wise, would be that orally, did I say that, or didn't I? I don't remember saying that at all. If I get a letter, I have to answer a letter, and it's in writing.
That's the only thing with part of this situation, you see.
Of course, it'd be good for both, wouldn't it?
Uh-huh.
You'd have it as a matter of record each day.
Yeah, but look how many cards she doesn't get back at all. No answer. With these committees. Well, they just aren't interested. And you take it as that, but these people have been elected, and this is what I'm talking about with this. There's too much apparently right now of who's saying what somebody else said that wasn't said. And this is the thing about it. If a letter is written and you ask that they, reply, well then I think that you would have something from them on file. Now, a call wouldn't hurt, but I think that the procedure-wise, the letter would be.
Maybe you could write
would
and
have
then,
something.
then if there was no answer, you could call.
Well, they are notified by the letter, form letter. You know, they expected to be at the meeting and will be notified accordingly. So,
I think.
I didn't certify her card today. That's the first one I've missed, but there wasn't a chance to go and stand in the line after standing in the line at the bank half a dozen times. But all others have been certified.
Would somebody put in the form of a motion then what action you would like taken about this, or if any?
I move that the chairman write a letter to members that have not been attending meetings regularly and try to ascertain why or what their intentions are and ask them to respond in writing.
I second the motion.
Who moved and seconded that a letter be written to these people who have not been attending the board meetings regularly and the rest of what she said? Is any discussion of this?
Wouldn't that, section 2 wouldn't that apply to any member of the board? If they, any member of the board of directors who is absent from 3 meetings in succession, unless excused by the board of directors, shall be considered as having resigned her membership on said board. Such vacancies shall be filled. Wouldn't, I don't know, seems to me like there should be even section
Remove a vote
there.
from being the section chairman. Oh, finish it. Look down on section,
under section.
Section
yeah.
6, no, I mean on
Mhm.
section 6.
Article
Here
11,
and,
section
and
6.
E, look at E. You see it says, or chairman, president or vice president, or chairman of section.
Could remind them though that vice president,
The vice chairman
vice chairman
should be
should
here.
be here to represent
The group.
I think the letter certainly is in order then, and appeal to their, get some reason or some reason for non-attendance.
You second it?
Then moved and seconded that the chairman, president of 5th District, write a letter to the members of the board who have been negligent in attending meetings and request on written response as to their intentions of attending future meetings. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
It's gone, second.
Well,
You want to write the second on that?
Wasn't you right?
No, you haven't. Second.
There's another thing that keeps nagging at me, and that, don't want this on there.
Madam President, I have been off the board for a couple of years, and I am not quite up to date. And in our last district meeting, I don't know whether I understood the anticipated income and our proposed budget, but this is the beginning of the year. And I feel like as the board group that we ought to get right down to brass tacks and face the issues that we're going to be possibly running into along about August and September. So what I'm asking for is maybe something from the chairman of the finance, maybe by way of explanation. Is that, because I feel like as a group, we're each one responsible for the organization and for the finances of the organization. And I don't know I made some mention at the meeting, but nothing was, I didn't quite understand, and I don't know just exactly what happened at the meeting, but it seems to me our anticipated budget was about a third more than our anticipated income, or that our proposed budget that we voted in was about a third more, and I wondered how we intended to equalize the two. And I thought the first of the year was the time to start thinking ahead.
I remember you brought this up, and I believe at the time you answered that, didn't you, sister?
We did, Ms. Wells, we projected the membership, that we felt would cover our budget, and if I recall, I think the membership was a little bit, more than last year, but we felt that it was realistic. Of course, now we're having the internal problems with the private duty group. We may lose them, but with DeKalb coming along in some of the other areas, we may gain membership. But we did project the needed membership to cover the budget. And I think you're real wise, I think about March or April, we should look to see how the membership's coming in and see if we really gave a reasonable estimate. I think January's a little too soon to tell.
Well,
but
it
about
is.
March or April to see how the membership's coming in, because we were really from hand to mouth last year. And then, as you know, the mail ballot was voted in, and that's expensive. We did include that in our budget, but we're not sure that we're going to get sufficient funds to cover that, to carry that.
And I feel like when we've had most of the members in, that we ought to adjust the budget according to what our
Well, we will have to,
Yeah.
and it, even though we, passed the bylaws to include that, if we don't have the money, we might, in a crisis, have to do something there.
Mhm.
But we did include it in the projected budget, but you're right, we did increase the budget. And we increased the membership accordingly, but we're not sure we're going to get it. If we don't get it through membership, we would have to look elsewhere if we want to do the things we included in the budget. So I would suggest about March or April. Of course, probably we'll have a meeting by then. We have a new chairman of the Finance Committee. Hopefully she would have a meeting by then of our committee. Who is she? Miss Monk, isn't she?
Who?
Monk, M-O-N-K.
She's out of Fulton, this county. We usually, after your membership's all in April and May, get a list of all of the members who have not renewed and sent them to all the hospitals, all of the sections, asking that everyone, last year, of course, we asked for a new member or loyalty, support that. But as a rule, it's evaluated whether they do anything drastic about it or not at that time. usually about May, certainly no later than June.
Anything else you'd like to bring up? Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Been moved and seconded, we adjourn. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, we are adjourned.
I don't believe in wells now. Did you want a calendar?